we're gonna just go ahead and get started. So, like I said before, you need that grid sheet. So, I'm gonna wait for mine to focus. Here's mine. So the reason I wanted you to have this sheet is if you've ever drawn from a grid before, grids are great. So they can really help you if you're drawing from a reference image. Sometimes a reference image can be a picture or a photograph. Sometimes a reference image is just a drawing. So the grid that is on top of Wile E. Coyote is super helpful because instead of just the regular four corners or four lines around a drawing helping you to reference where things go, you have a ton of reference points. And what I mean by reference points is that all of these vertical and horizontal lines can help give you more information about where to put things in your drawing. And a grid can really, really help you when you're drawing something and you want to make sure it's in proportion. So what I mean by in proportion is that everything is the right size in relation to the other parts in his face. So just to start to get myself ready and to help me explain to you where things should go, I'm actually going to label and number the grid. So on this side, you can do this if you want. You don't have to, but on this side, I'm just going to do a 1, 2, 3, 4 for all of the different rows. And I'll do A, B, C, D, and E for all of the columns. And I'm going to do the same thing on the big grid on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D, E. That's just going to help us when we start to draw out our Wile E. Okay.
Jade has her hand up.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Jade?
Can you go over that one more time? I missed it.
Sure, I'll go over that one more time. Oh, and I see somebody couldn't print the paper. Oh no. If you can't print the paper, then you're just gonna try to draw him. And when you can look at the picture is online. If you go to chuckjonescenter.org, maybe Scott will add the link in the chat. If you could do that for me, Scott, that'd be awesome.
Yes.
So just so that you can see it, so you'll be on your screen, so you'll see a close-up, and you're just gonna try your best. I'm sorry you couldn't print it. All right, so Jay, all I did was on the sides, on each of the rows, I gave it a number. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the columns, I went A, B, C, D, E. And then I copied that, and I did the same thing on the grid on the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D, E. And that is just gonna help us when we're looking to see where things go. So I'm actually gonna start, and when you're drawing, just like you're drawing a regular sketch, you're gonna draw with light lines because the shapes that you get, you might need to erase. So it's almost like a sketchy line, okay? Awesome. All right, so this shape, this cheek shape, so every Chuck Jones character is built out of simple shapes. And this cheek shape right here is almost like a little bit of an oval. And I'm noticing that that corner of it is in A2, and it's up in B2 and A3 and B3. So I'm just gonna try my best to, starting right about here, I'm just gonna try my best to mimic that curved shape. So all it is it's kind of like an oval shape. And you notice I'm doing really sketchy lines. Just doing really sketchy, short lines like this. Because I'm not gonna decide on a line that I like until I've drawn a little bit more, until I've kind of got the basic outline done. So all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to mimic this kind of oval shape of his cheek. And it's you notice, so you should have a little bit of that coming into the corner over here. Okay, should be coming down. I actually might have done mine a little big, but that's okay. That's why we do it in a sketchy line, because we might go back and erase, okay? So now I've done that side of the cheek. I'm gonna try to do the other side. This side of the cheek is a little more circle. This one that we just drew was almost more of an oval shape, but this cheek that's in the back is a little more circular. And I'm noticing that it's mostly in D3. So I'm going to locate D3 right here. I'm putting my finger on it. And so I come down from the D and I come over from 3. That's mostly where this circle is. So I'm just going to start here. I notice it comes up just a little bit into D2. And it's coming down over here. And I'm just drawing in kind of like a circle shape because that's going to be where his cheek is, okay? Now, so now I have that oval shape and that circle shape for his 2 cheeks. What I'm gonna work on now is that almost like curvy line. It almost looks like a triangle for the top of his head. So see how it comes up, kind of like a curve. It comes up in just a little bit up into the top of C1, like this. And then it curves back down. And I'm not worrying about the eyebrows or any of those details yet. That's all gonna come later. I'm just trying to get the kind of the random shape and the outline of Wile E. And don't worry if yours looks really strange at first, and it probably will look really strange and it won't look anything like Wile E Coyote until we start adding in the details. And that's totally fine because it's just not gonna look, you're just getting the basic shape down, okay? All right, now, okay, I think after, and you have to tell me if I'm going too fast. If anybody needs me to slow down, you just need to like raise your hand. Either you could raise your hand, you could type in the chat. Scott will let me know. Say,
Nissy has her, sorry, Nissy has her hand raised.
Hi Nissy.
Hi, so I had a question. I just got here and I don't have the PDF printout, so do I just draw a grid for myself?
Sure, you could draw, you know what, you don't even have to draw a grid for yourself. If you just want to try to draw Wile E straight from the picture, if you go to the chat, Scott put a link in that goes straight to where it is online. So you can just look at it from your computer, okay? Or if you're, whatever device you're using. Yeah, he just added it again. So just look, you can click on that and just look at the picture and you can just try your best to draw it, okay? Like, cause yeah, I mean, it's a little hard without a ruler and lots of time. It can be a little tricky to do a grid perfectly. So if you don't have access to a printer, if you can't print it out, then just try your hand at drawing him, okay? All right.
Lee, there was a request in the
to
chat to go slower.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Okay.
So I slowed down a little bit. All right, I hope everybody had a little bit of a chance to catch up. The next step that I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of connect this bottom line. So you see how it's kind of this curved line down here that's kind of the bottom of his head, and it kind of curves up like this, and it curves down, and then it curves back up again. I'm just gonna start by sketching that line in. So now I have the outline of his head. I think that what will help me next is to start to add in some of the eyes, because I think that's going to start to make this look a little bit more real. So I'm going to start right up here, and I notice that it's his eye, this corner, this curve of the eye is in B2. So I'm starting with this curve of the eye. I'm coming up and around, kind of like that. And I'm going to try to do the other one. So I'm going to start down. So it's right about here. I'm going to curve up. And I know that part of it is hidden by the eyebrow, and that's okay. We're going to add in the eyebrows in a bit. But I think we should add in the eyes first. I'm going to add in a little pupil and help us get a sense of what we're drawing. And I think we need to add the nose in. So his nose, I'm gonna add in the very tip of his nose. So the tip of his nose is this kind of ovally shape, and it's in between C3 and D3. So I'm gonna locate C3 and D3. And I kind of get a sense of, okay, so now I know, I see that circle I did for his cheek. So I know that that part of his nose kind of goes in right here. So I'm just gonna start sketching out that ovally shape. And it kind of comes out, comes down, just like that.
Jade has her hand up.
Hi, Jade, what's up?
You're going too fast.
I'm going too fast, no worries. I'm gonna slow down. I'll slow down a little bit. So while you guys are catching up a little bit, I wonder if you've ever seen any of the Wile E, Coyote, and Roadrunner cartoons. It's kind of neat. So Chuck Jones, he was the animator, he was the creator of both of those characters. And if you've never seen it, probably actually, I hope everybody's seen a Wile E, Coyote, and Roadrunner, but if you haven't, you should look it up. What's really neat is that in the cartoons, when Chuck Jones was making them, he actually had some rules that he went by in all of his cartoons, or in all of his Roadrunner and Wile E, Coyote cartoons. And the first rule was that the Roadrunner cannot harm the coyote except by going beep, beep. So the Roadrunner never actually harms the coyote. So the coyote's always trying to hurt the Roadrunner, but the Roadrunner just kind of always runs past and goes beep, beep. And the second rule, and this is true if you watch all of the cartoons, is that no outside force can actually harm the coyote. Only his own ineptitude or the failure of Acme products. So ineptitude means his own mistakes. Or if you've ever seen the cartoons, he always tries to like blow up the Roadrunner with bombs and TNT, and they're always from the Acme Corporation, and they always backfire on him. They always end up exploding on him instead of the Roadrunner. So, but nothing can harm the coyote except for his own mistakes or the Acme devices. I'll read a couple more of the rules in a minute, but I'm gonna keep going. So his nose, so I've done like the tip of his nose now. So now I need to add in that curved line on the bottom of his nose. And then look, it almost starts right in the middle of that line between C and D right here. It like literally starts right underneath the nose right there. So I'm actually gonna use that as a reference point. I'm curving it down, and it kind of curves up and almost ends right before the next line over here, right before the next vertical line between B and C. So it's this curved line like this. And then there's like a kind of a squiggle line because I think the coyote's definitely making a really strange face right now. So I'm gonna do this kind of squiggly line, and it kind of goes up and down, and it's like kind of like that. So I'm doing that weird squiggly line for his mouth, or his expression. Then I'm just going to start working on some of the lines for the top of his nose. So I'm going to connect these two cheeks. So if you see his cheek here and his cheek here, there's that curved line up here that connects. So it curves up and over like that. And then there's some wrinkles that kind of come up. So for wrinkles, I love drawing wrinkles. So it's all they are, these short little like curved lines that come up like one. Let's see, there's one, there's two, there's three of them. 1, 2, 3. So he's these 3 little wrinkles on his nose. Maybe he's starting to look a little bit like Wile E. I don't know. I think I definitely need to add in the ears next. Here, while you guys catch up, I'll read a couple more of the rules, the Acme rules. So rule number 3 for the coyote was that the coyote could stop at any time if he were not a fanatic. And a fanatic apparently is one who redoubles his effort when he has forgotten his aim. So the Wile E. Coyote could stop at any time if he wasn't like obsessed with this Roadrunner, but he is obsessed, so he never stops. No matter how many times he fails, he tries and tries again. And the 4th rule is in all the cartoons, there is no dialogue. That means that there's no speaking except for beep, beep. Those are the only words you'll hear in every single Roadrunner and Coyote cartoon. Beep, beep. So you'll have to go back and watch the cartoons and see if these rules apply. You have to make sure they're followed, but pretty sure they are. Pretty sure that he was, I think that Chuck Jones is pretty strict about following these rules for his cartoons. Okay, I'm gonna start on the ears. So I'm gonna do the ear that's on the left side first. So this curving ear. And I notice, look, it's curving. It's starting here at the top of his head. It's kind of, there's a tiny little corner of it, little corner in C1. So C1, kind of right here. And that curve goes all the way over to a point over here on A1. In fact, I can even make a little dot. See how it's kind of a little bit below the middle? So let me erase that dot. I did a little too high. A little bit below the middle on A1. And I can do a dot right here on C1. So all I'm doing now is I'm kind of doing a curved line to connect those two dots. So a curved line up and over. That's going to be the top part of his ear. Then the bottom part is a little bit like furry. He's got like little hair bits, but I don't have to draw those in yet. I'm just going to I'm going to do another dot here. So this dot is B2, maybe about right here. And I'm just going to connect those. I'm going to connect those two dots. So maybe I just do a line like this. Now I can go back and add in some of the hair. So if I want to make it look hairy, I can add those little like hairy little bits. Like
I'm going to spotlight Jade. She had her hand up.
Sure, Jade, what's up?
Oh, I just figured it out. So it's okay.
Okay, all right. Cool. All right, so then there's the line in between. It's like the flap of his ear. This is the top part of his ear like flopping over. So I'm just gonna do another line that's kind of bisecting or going in between the ear. So it's going kind of like that. All right. Now, good thing I drew in pencil and lightly because some of this line I don't like, so I'm going to go back and make the top part a little more narrow. And that's what we do as we're working. We like revise. You should be looking back and forth between the two pictures, seeing if it looks right. Okay, I like that a little better. All right, I'm going to start on the other ear. And if I'm going too fast, I'll slow down right after this next line. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing I did before. So in the very corner of C2, right about here on the corner of his head, that's where his ear is starting. And then, ooh, it almost ends exactly on E in between 1 and 2. So right about here is almost exactly where the ear ends. So now that I've done my two dots, I'm just going to connect the lines. And I'm noticing that that line kind of curves up and then back down like that. So there's the top of his ear. Then the bottom of his ear kind of is going to come down to about here. So, and I'm noticing that it curves in and then back out again. I'm going to add in some of that hair.
Esme has her hand raised.
Hey, Esme, what's up?
I just noticed that the bisecting of the ear, the fold over on the side of his head, ends right at the corner of B1. That's all.
Yeah, it totally is. You're exactly right. It totally is. It almost ends at the same point where the tip of his ear ends. You're totally right. So yeah, that bisecting line is kind of from like right here, and then it kind of curves up and then over again, kind of the way we did the top of his ear. Up and then down like that. And then I'm noticing there's a tiny little piece of hair, like it goes like that. Shaggy little ears. All right, I'll read it while you guys, I know I'm going a little quick, so I'll go back and see what other rules Chuck had. So there was no dialogue ever except for beep beep. Rule number 5 was that the Roadrunner has to stay on the road. Otherwise, logically, he wouldn't be called a roadrunner. So all of the setting of all of the Roadrunner and Coyote cartoons are in the desert. The desert, and it's the southwest. So like California, Nevada, like areas in the southwest. So it's all in the desert over here. And the Roadrunner is always on the road. So he's always running only on the road. Rule number 6. Oh, number 6, I already jumped the gun. All action must be confined to the natural environment of the two characters, which is the Southwest American desert. So yeah, so in all the Chuck Jones in all the Roadrunner and Coyote cartoons, they're always just set in the desert. So you always see cacti, you see mountains, you see sand. There's always a lot of cliffs, and the Coyote has a habit of falling off the cliffs pretty easily. He always like manages to run off a cliff. Okay, so now that you hopefully have those ears done, I think it's time to start on those eyebrows. So, because I think at the top of his head is looking a little weird right now. So if I'm looking at his eyebrows, they're almost like these like kind of, I don't know a descriptor, like slug. I don't even know what, like these little like S-shaped things. I don't really know how to describe them, but they're these like little thick eyebrows, and they start at the top of his head up here, the top of that point. And it's kind of C1 in the middle, and they curve up and around and down. And then they kind of go over the top of his head a little bit, or the top of his eye a little bit. And they curve around and up. So, I think I don't really like those lines. So I'm gonna go back and erase because I think that mine need to be a little more curved. That's why we do it lightly. So I'm just, when I'm sketching something, I'm just literally just jumping my eyes from my photo to the reference photo. I'm just going back and forth and checking, does that look right? Does that look right? And I'm drawing lightly so that I can erase and fix it up if I need. I'm gonna try to do the other eyebrow. It's just starting right next to the first. It's this curve, it almost curves over the eye a little bit. Notice it's kind of, the top corner of the eye is kind of covered by the eyebrow.
Lee, Grace needs to leave, but she says she'll color it later.
Oh, okay. No problem, Grace. Thanks for joining. Absolutely. Glad you could make it for the drawing part. See you next time. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so I'm just kind of, so the top of this eyebrow has, on the one on his right side, has these 3 like little hairy bits. So one's coming up at a point, one's a bigger point, kind of curving up like that. And then there's the third little one curving up like that. 1, 2, 3, it's like that. And then I'm noticing at the very top are 3 little bits of hair that are coming out. So there's like one piece of hair that's curving this way, one that's curving kind of like this, and then one that's kind of coming out like that. I'm gonna draw those in, and then I'm gonna give you guys some time because I know I went through that a little quickly.
And Jade has her hand up.
Jade, what's up?
Sorry for asking so many questions, but I need you to go just a little bit slower because I just missed a little bit.
Sure.
Just can you go over the eyebrows?
Sure. So the eyebrows, I didn't really, I kind of went quickly through them because, so they're just these curved lines that kind of curve down from C1 down into like B2. So it's just kind of, you have to follow like your drawing and follow where your eyes are on your drawing. So you're just doing these curved shapes that are kind of in where the eyebrows would go. So for the eyebrows, it's a little hard to describe where they're going. I just kind of had to look really closely at my sketch. And I'm already noticing right off the bat that I want to fix the placement of my eyes, because if I look at my drawing, look how far apart, look how much space there is here, look how little space there is here. So I'm actually going to go back and fix up these eye shapes and make them a little bit bigger. I think it's that back eye shape that needed to be a little bigger.
I'm not doing very well.
It's tricky, so don't worry. Like, this is a hard lesson. Give yourself some like don't be too hard on yourself if it doesn't come out exactly right. It's totally fine. This is like a something that is hard to do, like to learn to draw from a grid. And Wile E himself is one of the harder characters from Chuck John's. That's why, if you notice, I picked only his face instead of his whole body, because there's a lot to Wile E. There's a lot to Wile E. And there's a lot of little bits and pieces. I feel like Bugs Bunny is actually an easier character to draw than Wile E is. So if you're having a hard time, it's okay. Don't worry. It's just like playing an instrument. It's like you just gotta practice. If you need to print out another picture of this and try again another day, then you could do that. But don't be hard on yourself. It's all just practice. Let's see if there were a couple of more rules. Aha, rule number 7. All materials, tools, weapons, or mechanical conveniences must be obtained from the Acme Corporation. So that's true. In every Coyote and Roadrunner cartoon, the Coyote's always ordering things from Acme. He has like this Acme mail order catalog that he looks through, and he orders like all of his TNT and his bombs and his dynamite and any kind of tools from Acme. And they always fail. They always fail. All right, rule number 8 is, whenever possible, make gravity the Coyote's greatest enemy. So, remember how I said earlier that the Coyote always falls off cliffs? Well, it's because gravity is his biggest enemy. He's always somehow getting tricked into running off a cliff. Okay, all right. So now that I'm done with his ears and his eyebrows, what I'm gonna do, before I only have one part left to draw, and that's his shoulders and his arms. So, but before I do that, I'm just gonna kind of clean up this cheek shape. So I'm just gonna make it a little like darker. So I'm gonna, because I kind of like where this is. I'm happy where that line is. I'm gonna kind of come up and curve this around. I can start to add in those little hairy bits, like that are on his cheeks. So you know how there's like the little hairy bits. And then it curves up. Down. I'm gonna do the other side, kind of curves up. Make that a little darker. Curves up and around, and then I'm gonna add in some of those little hairy bits. Shoop, shoop. Like that. All right, that looks a little bit better. All right. Now all I have to do, I do need to fix this eye. I can also go back and kind of erase up any lines that were sketchy lines, and start to erase any of those I don't need anymore.
Jade has her hand up.
Yeah, Jade, what's up?
Did Chuck Jones make Tom and Jerry?
He did. Tom and Jerry were 2 of his characters. They totally were. I wonder if there are rules for Tom and Jerry's characters. I actually haven't seen any. I know, that's something to research. You know any? You're shaking your head, Scott. You don't know. But yes, Tom and Jerry were 2. Tom and Jerry were 2 of his other characters. Okay, so I'm going to do his shoulders. So I'm looking at the picture, and I notice the first shoulder is, so it's B3. So B3. I could make a dot here. And it ends, almost on that line again, at in between A and B on number 4. So it ends kind of like almost right down here at this dot. So I'm just gonna connect those lines. I'm gonna curve line here, like that. And then I'll do the other side. So it's kind of right underneath where his nose is. So right over here is kind of where it starts. Like, you know where his nose is, actually kind of maybe over here, where his nose is meeting It's meeting his chin, or it's meeting his shoulder right there. Okay, and so I'm going to draw, and then that line ends on C4, right about there. So I'm going to draw that line here, and that one's a little straighter than the other one, kind of curving down like that. And then I can add in his arm lines. So I'm just kind of looking at the picture. Notice they kind of like, they do like a little Y thing where they come up like the letter Y a little bit where his armpit is for the hair. And then this one also comes up with a little bit of a Y shape, just like that. And then his little chest has like a little like zigzag of hair. Oh, actually I don't like where I placed that, so I'm gonna erase it because I did a little too far over. Right about there. Cool. Then I can go back and I can add in some of the hair on his shoulders. So I know that like there's some little like zigzaggy hairs. And then on the other side too, some little zigzaggy hairs. That, cool. All right, I'm pretty happy with this.
Here's Esme's.
Wow, Esme, that looks awesome. Nice job. Really nice job. I'm impressed. This was tricky. You guys, you nailed it. All right, good work.
I'm going to jump over to Liliana and Heather Rose.
Okay, yeah, if you girls have it drawn, let me see. Nice. That looks awesome, girls. Wow.
Here's
Wow.
mine.
That looks almost identical. Really, really good work. Nice using the grid. Really nice work.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And Sophia and Emily.
Yeah, let's see.
So this is my Wile E Coyote. But we didn't do the bodies yet, so
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
And you got his head right. You got nailed his face. Let's see.
cute. Okay, this is mine so far.
Oh, you gotta hold it in front of your sisters.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, I love his little nose and his expressions. Super cute. Awesome work. Awesome work. Good job, girls. Yeah, if anybody else wants to share their work so far, put your hand up. How's yours going, Soren?
Mine turned out like this.
It looks like him. He looks like sheepish. He looks like he's like shrugging his shoulders. He has quite an expression.
He's like,
Nice job.
so he's actually thinking this because he didn't catch Roadrunner again.
You added a word of like a bubble, a speech bubble. Oh yeah, let's see. I
Well,
think
it's
that
a thinking bubble. He's thinking that.
He's thinking. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's two. Oh, I
I
think
think
there's
he's
two.
going like that. I'll say he's going like that because Roadrunner just ran past some bombs he put up.
Oh,
Put up
okay.
and then, so the bombs just exploded on him. And the bombs
There's-
will explode on him.
That's funny, Soren. There's one more rule that I'll tell you guys, and that is that the coyote is always more humiliated than harmed by his failures. So even though he falls off of cliffs and gets hit by like boulders, he's always just more embarrassed. Kate, did you want to show yours? Let's see yours, Kate. Whoa, that looks awesome, Kate. Nice job. Really nice job. You like got his expression perfect. Very cool.
Here's
So,
Nikki.
oh yeah, Nissy.
Okay, so this is mine.
Nice, Nissy. And Nissy, you were working without a grid. Really impressive. Really impressive. Nice job.
Thank you.
And Megan would like to share.
Yeah, Megan, let's see. That expression, Megan. That came out really, really good. Nice job. Nice using the grid.
Thank you.
Good work.
Jade.
Yeah, Jade, let's see. Jade, that's almost identical. And you were like so concerned. I think you did an amazing job. That looks amazing. Really, really amazing. Nice work. I know this was challenging. So we'll do another couple of shares in a second if anybody else wants to share. But the next step was we were talking. This is Color Week, so really quick, I'm going to show you a color wheel because I thought it'd be kind of fun to color Wile E. Coyote in kind of an interesting, different way. I'm actually going to draw a line right here, right across the middle of this color wheel, because this line is separating my warm colors from my cool colors. So we have two different categories of colors. Red through yellow green, or pretty much red through yellow, they're considered warm colors. Because, you know, like color of fire, you think of like, when I look at these colors, I think of fire, I think of like the beach, and like, I think like, well, like sand. I just think of like warm. These colors are on the warmer side. And green through violet and red violet a little bit, these are considered the cool colors. So these ones are like the color of cool water and the sky. So you have your warm colors and your cool colors. Now, normally, if we were going to follow Chuck Jones's rules and we were going to put Coyote in the desert, then the whole picture would be warm colors, because the Coyote itself, he is brown and tan. And brown, even though brown isn't on this color wheel, brown is actually kind of like the color orange mixed with some darker colors. So brown, even though these are considered spectral colors, because they're the colors that make up light, which is kind of an interesting thing. I see your hand. Hold on one second, Jade. But these are called spectral colors, and brown is actually doesn't have its own wavelength, but it is a color that we see, but it's created by mixing colors. So brown is kind of on the warmer side because it's mostly orange. So brown, the Coyote, if we wanted to color in Coyote his actual colors, he has this kind of tan, light colored belly, and the rest of his body is brown. And if you actually go to the website where you downloaded the picture, there's a picture of Wile E, and you can see his actual colors. Jade, yes.
Do you have to have the color wheel?
You do not have to have the color wheel. Absolutely not. No, I was just showing it to you because I thought it would be kind of fun to color Wile E. Coyote using a warm and cool color scheme, which is how I'm going to do mine. You can choose to do it like mine, or you could choose to do it like however you decide. Oh, bye, Liliana. I just see she had to go. No worries. So, but I'm gonna disobey one of Chuck Jones's rules, and because I think that in the background of Wile E. Coyote, maybe he's giving this expression because instead of in the desert, maybe he's in the rainforest. Maybe he is in a dream and he's in the rainforest, or he like got transported somewhere strange. So I'm actually going to draw in maybe some leaves, some like rainforest leaves in the background. And I'm going to color Wile E. Coyote, his real colors, like the brown and the tan. But the background, I'm going to color in cool colors. So like greens and blues of like the rainforest, the blues and blue greens. So that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm choosing to do Wile E in his real colors and the background in cool colors. So warm colors, cool colors. If you want to do it like that, you can. If you want to put Wile E. Coyote somewhere else, you can draw him wherever he is, his setting. If you want to color Wile E. Coyote crazy colors, you could do that. If you want to make him purple, you could totally do that. It's totally up to you. But I just wanted to show you the difference between warm and cool colors, because sometimes when you're doing a picture, it can be really nice to have both, to have like maybe the subject of your picture in one type of color and the background in another type of color, because it can make your character stand out. Now, Chuck Jones, most of these drawings were done all in warm colors because he's in the desert, and the desert colors just happen to be pretty warm. So like I said before, if you go to the link, maybe you can add the link in one more time for us, Scott.
Sure.
If you go to the link, there's a picture of Wile E that you can use to help you color him in if you want to color him like his actual colors. So one of the things I like to do when I'm testing colors is I test them out on a paper. So like a kind of like that one for his light color. Ooh, don't like that one. Ooh, I like that one for his brown. So I think maybe I'll use, actually, maybe I'll use these two. I like these two. All right, so I'm gonna maybe add in, so his middle part of his belly is like this lighter color. So we're all just gonna color in our picture now. If you want to outline your picture with a black pen or a marker to make your character, make Wile E stand out, you can do that. So Wile E's belly is this kind of light tan color. Maybe I'll mix some colors. I always like mixing colors, like to get the right color, because sometimes the right color doesn't exist right in the crayon box. You have to mix and make it. So what if I layered this, ooh, I like that. Layered this kind of tannish brown on top of that. For his belly.
Esme says maybe I'll do him with a missile in the background and a blue sky.
That's a cool idea. Awesome. The missile should say Acme on it. ACME, Acme. And Wile E's cheeks and his eyebrows are actually that light color too. So his eyebrows and his cheeks, but his nose, the tip of his nose is black.
We have a question here.
Sure.
Daniela Wells.
Daniela.
Hi, I just
This
wanna
is Emerson.
Oh, hi, Emerson. Hi. Oh, wow. That's amazing. What an awesome job you did. So you put him in the desert?
Yeah. Background, I don't think.
That's great. What an awesome job, Emerson. You
Thank
did,
you.
yeah, you did a really good work. Yeah, I like that he kept true. So he did his entirely in a warm color scheme, which is totally fine. If you want to do just all warm colors to make it look like a real Chuck Jones drawing, then you can do that. It's totally up to you. I just thought it'd be funny to do something wild and crazy with it and put him like, I think it was his expression, because he looks so like nervous in this pose. So I'm gonna put him in the rainforest because I think he looks like he's out of his element. Ooh, all I have is a black marker, so I'll have to do his nose with a marker. I have to go over all of him with the marker. Also, the undersides of his ears are this light color too. And everything else is brown, except for the whites of his eyes. Yeah, don't color in the whites of his eyes. Those stay white. So a lot of artists use a grid when they want to try to copy a reference image. So our reference today was Wile E. If they want to try to help get the proportions exactly right, that reference, that grid can really help you get the right shapes and help you put everything in proportion. Underside. And I think I'm going to go over mine with a Sharpie just so that it stands out a little bit more.
Heather Rose has her hand up.
Yeah, Heather Rose, let's see. Wow. Oh, did you put him under the ocean? I love it. He's in the ocean. How do you end up under the water? That's really funny. I love it. I love it. Very clever. I think that's a great addition.
Soren has his hand raised.
Soren.
So I colored mine. So this is Wile E. Coyote, and then here are some dynamites. So here's this robot trying to eat him, and he put his dynamite so he dies, and then this is Roadrunner. So Roadrunner basically ran off the road for real this time.
Oh
And
no.
in the face of those bad guys he wanted to eat Wile E. Coyote, and even though Wile E. Coyote was kind of his enemy, he basically saved. So this is one of his hands, and he's just grabbing Wile E. Coyote, and he's gonna start running. It's gonna basically save him, even though Wile E. Coyote always tries to eat him.
I know. That poor coyote must be really hungry because he can never catch the Roadrunner. But you know what? I bet if he gave up, it would all be okay. Actually, I was gonna look this up. Maybe Scott, maybe you could look this up. What does the E stand for in Wile E. Coyote? You know?
I don't know.
It's just because his name is Wile, but he wanted to make it Wiley, so he put an E for the middle. And
Is that the reason?
I think that's right, actually.
I think it sounds right.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Smart. Yeah, I meant to look that up before this class and I forgot. I was too busy researching because I knew the rules existed. I knew I wanted to read you guys all of his the Roadrunner rules and the Coyote rules. But I couldn't remember. I knew there was a reason. Wiley. He's Wiley. All right, I'm going to add in, so I'm going to take that dark brown. So now I've colored in the light brown areas. I'll take that dark brown, and all the other spots are dark brown. And I can look at my picture for reference. I'm coloring a little bit darker with a heavier hand to get that dark brown color.
So that is correct. It says the coyote's name of Wile E is a pun of the word Wiley, but it also says that in one of the comics, the Looney Tunes comic books, it stood for Ethelbert.
Ethelbert, weird.
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
That's a name, Ethelbert. So Wiley. How would you describe the word Wiley? Like, if you're going to define it, Wiley. Like kind of sneaky? Kind of like, he's wily. What is the exact definition of the word wily? Scott, do you mind looking that up for us?
Sure.
Sorry, I'm just giving you also these tasks today. I apologize.
No, it's okay. Skilled at gaining an advantage, especially deceitfully.
Oh, okay. So he tries to be wily, but he's not very wily in the end. Because he always ends up like failing. That's interesting. So he's trying to be skilled at tricking that Roadrunner, but he's not as tricky or as he thinks he is.
So that kind of goes back to what you were talking about, fanatic earlier.
Yeah, he is a fanatic.
Jade has her hand raised.
Jade.
Sorry, the noise in the background.
No worries.
So in one of Wile E. Coyote, he gives a card to some Bugs Bunny, I think, and he said genius Wile E. Coyote.
He said genius what?
Genius Wile E. Coyote.
Genius. He thinks he's a genius. So he really thinks he's smarter than he actually is. He thinks very highly of himself.
Yeah. Funny.
That's really funny. I don't remember that one. I'll have to look for that one. So I'm just going to go back and erase some of those pencil lines that I can see, and then I'm going to start on the background. So, like I said, I'm gonna go wild and crazy with mine. I'm gonna put Wile E in the desert or in the jungle. He's in the jungle, so I'm gonna have some maybe some big leaves He doesn't know where he is. He's never been to the jungle before. Why would he be in the jungle? He belongs in the desert. Let's see. Oh, it's almost time's up. Oh my gosh, it is already 10:53. If you guys want to share what you have so far, just put your hand up. Oh yeah, totally. Jade, I see Jade's hand. Let's see what you have so far. Oh wait, are you on mute? Oh, there you are. Nice. So he's in the sky, or is he just like
he's falling from
cool?
the sky.
Oh no. He's in the process of falling because gravity is his biggest enemy. Nice. Good work. I like those puffy clouds.
Thank you.
Here's
Yeah.
Lily.
Lily, let's see.
So I'm not done, but this is mine.
Nice. Cool. Nice job. Good job coloring him and drawing him without a grid. That was tricky. I know
had to make my own grid.
Yeah, you were working at a disadvantage because it's hard to do that, but you did a really nice job.
Thanks.
Good work. And thanks again for showing us your ducklings. They're so cute.
Thanks.
Here's Soren.
Soren, you show us you're
I
finished?
My Wile E. So I made a phoenix here. So Roadrunner is holding a 200-ton cannonball. 2,000-ton cannonball. So when he runs, he's gonna throw it over Wile E. Coyote's head and right into this bad guy robot.
Wow, this cartoon is really taking a turn for the dark.
And this phoenix is getting ready to heat up, and then it's going as fast as it can, so it can basically fly straight into the robot when it's like burning with its fire.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Like this you totally went out there with the cartoon.
And this guy's shooting his Canis laser,
Okay.
and he's like,
Cool.
"Surrender, Wile E."
Very, very clever, Soren. Thanks for sharing. You went very out there.
Wile E basically wanted to do. So Wile E basically wanted to do in this enemy base was to get some bombs to catch Roadrunner, but and he disguised himself like this. But the bad guys realized that it was him and started attacking him for no reason. And since Roadrunner was saving him, he decided to never fight with Roadrunner again and never, so they can just be friends forever.
Oh wow, that's a sweet ending. I like that they join forces in the end. Interesting.
It's an awesome imagination.
Yeah, I know. He's really clever. He comes up
Yeah.
with some cool ideas. Really out there.
Very cool.
Is there anybody else who wants to share?
Here's Kate.
Kate, let's see your
I'm not done coloring the sky yet, but
whoa, where is he? Is he on safari?
yeah.
That's awesome. I love the zebra. That's such a good job. Nice job, Kate. Thanks for sharing. You had the perfect colors too. Were you coloring with markers?
I did markers, but for the background I did crayons and colored pencils. But for
Nice.
like the tan part I did crayons and markers.
Very cool. Very nice. Yeah, those colors worked out perfectly. All right. Yes, anybody else want to share? We have a couple minutes left. 2 minutes to be exact.
Here's Megan.
I know I say this every time. Wow. Nice job, Megan. I love that cactus and that Acme. I love the expression too on Wile E's face. He just looks so like sheepish. Nice job. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, good work. Is there anybody else who would like to share? Not sure yet. Okay, we're still working.
Isaac.
I see a lot of people busy working. Hey, Isaac. How's it going? Let's see. Oh, wow. You nailed it. You got the shape exactly. I like your choice of colors too. Where are you going to put him? Where is he going to be?
I wasn't sure, but I decided to go for more of a human-like color.
Yeah,
So I managed to finish the smaller one.
I like that you use the smaller one as like a test before you did the bigger one. That's like really, that's a smart choice to like do like a test run.
That's
nice.
it too.
Good work. Nice work.
Thank you.
I'm glad you joined us today. All right. Cool. Well, I'm struggling to finish mine as fast as I can, and I don't think I'm going to get to color mine in. But yeah, if it's does anybody else want to share? The class is almost over. I'm always amazed at how fast this class goes. Anybody who has anybody who hasn't had a chance to share yet? Is there
Esme?
Esme, yeah. Let's see. Wow, Esme. Oh, that's awesome. Really good work.
Yeah, I put an Acme missile, but you can't see the whole Acme, just the A and the E.
Oh, yeah, because his ear is covering it.
Yeah.
Nice work. That's awesome. Nice. Really good job drawing and coloring. All right. Is there anybody else who wants to share? Anybody? I'm just giving priority. I see your hands up, Soren, but I'm trying to give and you too, Jade. I'm trying to get some of the people who haven't had a chance to share first go first. And if not, I'm going to give them like another couple seconds. Adriana, do you want to share, or are you good?
No, I'm good.
You're good. Okay. All right. Well, then Jade and Soren, if you guys want to share one more time, or actually, I don't know if Gina wants to share too. Oh, Jade, I see it. Nice job, Jade. I love that.
A little on the arm.
The blue, nice. I love it. He's falling. Yeah, you're doing a really nice job. I like you're taking your time and really coloring things in carefully. Awesome. All right. Soren, you want to share?
Soren, and I saw Nissy's hand up too.
Awesome.
So I decided I also draw this gray background. So this is a laser launcher, and this is a special missile bullet launcher, and then this is a fire launcher, and then this is another missile launcher, and then this is a missile launcher again.
I love how creative yours are. Really cool work. Nice job, Soren. Thanks for sharing with us. Nissy, let's see.
Okay, so this one is mine.
Oh, wow. Nissy, where is he?
He's in the jungle at nighttime.
Like the palm trees. Wait, what's above him? What's the blue?
It's a blue butterfly.
Oh, I see it now. It's the butterfly. Oh, that's awesome. He looks like really confused. He's like, where am I? How did I get here? Awesome work.
Color in the nighttime sky. So.
Oh, yeah. But really cool work. Good job. Last call. All right. Well, you guys all did a really amazing job. I'm really proud of you for trying your hand at drawing from a grid for the first time, probably for many of you. And your ideas were really clever and original. All right, I hope you guys had fun. And I'll see you on Thursday. Okay. Bye.
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 Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.